Hello, welcome to this week's episode of HuGS, helping you grieve, grow, gain spiritually. Today, I want to talk about some things that me and my son had been discussing over um, the past few weeks. He had been trying to sell a vehicle, and he had been working with someone that uh, we know personally. And in the endeavor, we discovered that they kind of schemed up on something, and in that scheme, they implemented my son. So what what brought this to mind is we were talking, and he had made us we were talking about how, in this world, people, we don't call each other brothers and sisters anymore. We kind of on this self journey where we don't think about ourselves as a community anymore. We're kind of singular. We don't work together to build. We kind of tear each other down. And he had mentioned a statement that came from a verse in a Jay-Z lyric. Now, me, I can find uh, a connection, a relatable connection to. It don't have to be uh, gospel music. Um, God can inspire you, however. And what the lyrics said, "When the grass is cut, the snakes show." Now, some of y'all may be familiar with which album this came from Jay Z's collection, uh, but I wasn't familiar with it, and I thought that that was so profound, and I was thinking, how terrible it is in our society today, where we work against each other instead of working with each other. And because I don't want to see nobody, I don't want to see nobody fail. I want to see everybody do good. Um, Especially if you in my circle, my family, you know, um, I'm not one of those kind of people uh that want to tear people down. Now, with that being said, it's so funny to me that so many people would like to see me tore down, and I don't I don't know where that come from, but that's that's not the type of person that I am. So um that's always peculiar to me. It's like, wow, you know, it's a even like Paul said, uh not Paul, but when in the word it said, he was talking about his self reflection. I'm not the best person. Paul did say that. He said, when I would do good, evil is present around me. And he was talking about the things that he would think and he would do. Now, I might self sabotage myself. I do a lot of things that would be considered to be self sabotaging. Okay, if you um, look over my life, I've done a lot of hurtful, harmful things to me. But then I think about the Lord. It said He been better to me than I've been to myself, and I can just honestly say that um, no matter how hard you try, no matter um, how good of a person you try to be, somebody is always going to try to find fault or try to try to cause harm to you. You know, we're just in this time right now. You know, the only person that can change that is God. God is the only one that can come down and see about us, mankind, and change our wicked ways from being um so opportunistic to cause harm to somebody else just so you could stand on their shoulders, you know, to get out the barrel. The crabs in the barrel mentality we have now. Um, when um when we used to reach down to pull one up, now we stand on each other's shoulder to push the other person down so that we can reach up and get out the barrel. And then when we get out the barrel, we don't look back. We don't look back. We don't we don't turn around to see if the other person is okay, see if they need help. Um well, you should know that they need help because they was in the barrel right along with you. So and you did see them come out the barrel behind you. So like a lot of these things we have to think about. And um, I wanted to read a scripture text that I came across uh, when I was thinking about when the grass is cut, the snakes show. So I took some time and I was like, Lord, you know, you have to talk to him and say, reveal to me, you know, how I can make this useful and beneficial to um the people that I love, the people that are um listening to these episodes, and see if I can help somebody through the a combination of um, what I my viewpoint, what I've learned, and the scripture. Um, and the scripture text is going to come from Acts 13 verses 44 and 45, and I'm going to be reading out the NIV, or the New International Version. It says, on the next Sabbath, almost the whole city gathered to hear the word of the Lord. When the Jews saw the crowds, they were filled with jealousy. They began to contradict what Paul was saying and heaped abuse on him. Now, I'm going to try to clean this up a little bit to make it more relatable and understandable. And coming out the Message Bible, verse 45 reads, some of the Jews, seeing that the crowds went wild, seeing the crowds, correction, seeing the crowds went wild with jealousy and tore into Paul, contradicted everything he was saying, making an ugly scene. And so what they were doing was, Paul and Barnabas was there, and they was preaching in the synagogues in the earlier scripture texts. And you know the Jews, they originally came to speak to the Jews, and when the Jews were rejecting what they were saying, then they moved over and they talked to the Gentiles. This, which is all of us. If you're not a Jew, you're a Gentile. So when they went to go and talk to the Gentiles, and they were received with uh, uh, wholeheartedness, and a great multitude of people started converting to Christianity. Um, the Jews got angry. They got jealous. It says they went wild with jealousy. And when you think about when you think about a snake is the serpent, the the serpent, it represents um wickedness, deceit, um cunning, conniving. It represents um um anything evil. So when you say, when the grass is cut, the snakes show, what that's saying to me is that Paul and Barnabas, they was doing what God had, what Christ had left for them to do. They went about preaching the gospel two by two, two in twos, and they went about preaching the gospel. And they started out with the Jews, but then when the Jews rejected them, then they preached it to the Gentiles. And when the Jews at this, in this particular scripture text, is representing the snakes. It's uh Paul and Barnabas, they was doing what they were supposed to do. They was taking care of business the way that they were supposed to take care of business. They was minding their business. Then the snakes come, and then they try to contradict everything that was being said, and made an ugly, terrible scene, um, out of jealousy. And what you have to realize in this life is that you could be going about your business, doing what you're supposed to do, uh, taking care of your family, taking care of your kids, taking care of, if you take care of a parent, taking care of your parent, um, working, going to school, um, but the devil don't want to see that. The devil don't want to see you doing what you're supposed to do. And if you live in your life as a Christian, you um you trying to learn and grow in your spirituality, and you trying to learn and grow in your discipleship, and you're trying to learn and grow in your prayer life, the devil don't want to see that. The devil the devil does not want to see you developing into a new creature. Now, when this incident happened with my son, I know he truly been changed, because it would, the whole situation could have went a different way with the person trying to implicate him in this scheme. It could have went a whole different way. But even as he growing older, he changed. You know, uh, he developing into a better person, a better man. Um, and the only thing you can do is, when you're faced with situations like that, it's nothing that it's nothing that you personally can do to change them. You got a prayer life. You got to pray. You got to pray and ask God to touch this person's heart, touch their mind. Um, you got to pray and ask God to forgive them, and pray for yourself. Pray that you don't step off into which what could be considered your flesh, and take matters into your own hands. God is take care of taking revenge on people. I'm learning that. I'm learning that people that hurt me deeply to my core, I'm learning I don't have to say a spiteful word against them. I don't have to I don't have to I don't have to dispel any of the knowledge that I have about them. I don't have to do that. I just continue to live my life the way that God is intended for me to live it. And through that, that will heap mounds of coals on their heads, because I will continue to be successful in the areas that God have intended for me to be successful in. I hope that I've said something encouraging to you on today. And my prayer is that um, my family and friends and loved ones is that I I be an inspiration to you all. Like I said, this is just not always going to be about the pain and the suffering that I went through. I want to encourage people. I want to let people know that it's a better way for us to do anything. It's a better way for us to do everything through Christ. Um, if I've said something that was encouraging on you today, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Y'all be blessed.